Good evening and welcome to the Garfield Heights City School District March 15th regular school board meeting. I would like to call this meeting to order at 6:01 p.m. Good evening and welcome to the Garfield Heights City School District. The first item on our regular agenda this evening. Do I do the roll call first or just the point? Okay, our first item on the agenda this evening is to appoint Sean Patton as the treasurer pro tem. Can I have a motion?
We did that the last meeting, Mrs. Daniels.
Oh, so you're still there?
Yeah, so I'm still there, so all we have to do is just go for roll call.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Mr. Patton, can you take roll call for us, please?
Ms. King,
Here.
Ms. Morrison,
Here.
Ms. Thomas,
Here.
Mrs. Daniels.
Here. Did you call Mr. Juby?
Mr. Julie.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda, if we all could just take a moment of silence. Thank you. And now we'll have our pledge of allegiance. If you can please stand. And Ms. Thomas, if you can lead us in the pledge this evening.
Yes. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Mrs. Daniels. Adoption of agenda items.
Can I have a motion to adopt the agenda this evening?
Slow move.
And a second?
Second.
Mr. Patton, that was moved by Ms. Thomas and second by Ms. Morrison. Can we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Thomas,
Yes.
Ms. Morrison,
Yes.
Ms. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Daniels.
Yes. Thank you. Can I have a motion for the reading and approval of the minutes?
So move. Second.
Mr. Patton, that was moved by Ms. King and second by Ms. Thomas. Roll call, please.
Ms. King,
Yes.
Ms. Thomas,
Yes.
Ms. Morris,
Yes.
Mrs. Daniels.
Yes. Thank you. Good evening. This evening, I will be bringing you the board president's report. And my report is as follows. On behalf of the entire Board of Education, the Garfield Heights City Schools welcome students back to in-person learning in the hybrid educational model during the week of March 8th. I, along with Vice President King and Board Member Thomas, had the opportunity to personally greet students as they returned to classes and were inspired and encouraged by the students' enthusiasm. The Board of Education will continue to positively affirm our students and staff in doing everything possible to ensure that they uphold and fulfill our new vision of being a premier school district in the entire state of Ohio. In total, approximately 1,700 students were kept safe and successfully educated in conducting the district-wide return to in-person hybrid learning. And in addition, those students and families who have chosen to remain in the remote learning model due to safety concerns were effectively educated as well. I'd like to commend Superintendent Hankey and the entire administrative team who have worked extremely hard in preparing the buildings and facilities for the safe return of the students and staff. Temperature taking, demisting, thermal imaging camera technology, and more represents some of the innovations and steps taken in the buildings to uphold the safe return. Thank you to our administration for the caution, compassion, and care that has been taken to make sure our students and staff will be safe. The staff at the Garfield Heights City Schools deserve our gratitude as well for such a seamless transition to our hybrid learning model. The Board of Education also extends their congratulations to one of our educators, Mr. Knizel, on receiving the Garfield Heights Teachers Association's Teacher of the Year Award. Congratulations, Mr. Knizel. Your hard work, Mr. Knizel, represents the dedication of our entire staff, and your special recognition is the product of your commitment to the students of our district. Thank you, Mr. Knizel, and congratulations on the entire board. The Board of Education would like to send a shout out to our high school boys basketball team, who finished with an overall record of 10 wins and 5 losses. Coach Johnson and his team had high hopes for the season, which unfortunately was interrupted by nuances related to the coronavirus. Despite starts and stops, the basketball team preserved and remained determined throughout the entire season, as they always do. While we're sorry that a full season could not be conducted, everyone continues to be excited for the future of your program. In other news, from the Board of Education, on Thursday, March 11th, 2021, I, along with Councilwoman Shayla L. Davis, was invited by the National Congress of Black Women to participate in a discussion with Governor DeWine's team about giving greater vaccine access to inner-ring suburbs, such as in communities like Garfield Heights. The leadership represented in this meeting with the governor's office went above and beyond in successfully securing support to increase access. As a school district, it is important that our community has access to vaccinations. Working towards immunity in the Garfield Heights community will support the school district's efforts in safely returning all students to in-person learning in our school buildings. Our teachers and staff members participated in the vaccination to support these efforts as well. And as frontline workers who are tasked with educating our community students, this was an important step to keep us all safe. In addition, on March 3rd, 2011, I met with State Representative Stephanie House about Garfield Heights legislative priorities, which include permanent ability of public schools to offer fully remote online programs, report card reform, school funding overhaul, and eliminating the district's deduct model for community and charter schools. Thank you always to Representative House for continuing to champion our district with your time. Finally, the month of March is Women History Month, and we commend all women on their achievements and continued strength to fight for our overall rights and equity as women. With that, I conclude my report. If there's not any questions regarding my report, we will move to our committee report. This evening, I do not have a report for Cuyahoga Valley Career Center. Are there any other reports this evening?
I have a report.
Ms. Thomas?
Thank you. Student activities report for March 15th, 2021. Our winter season has ended with our boys basketball team making it to district semifinals, our girls bowling team making it to regionals, and our boys bowler Joe Leonard making it to regionals. Congratulations, teams. Our spring sports consist of baseball, softball, boys track, girls track, and tennis. They have all started their practices thus far. Spring sport modifications include extending the dugout seating and increasing the number of available game balls. We hope everyone was able to catch our high school choirs recent virtual performance on Fox 8. They did an amazing job. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. Is there any more reports?
Madam President, I have a city liaison report.
Ms. King?
We would like to congratulate Frank Tagliarini, who was appointed to fill the vacant seat in Ward 6 due to Matt Burt stepping up to be interim mayor. The next council meetings, there is a legislative meeting on 3/18 at 6:30. During the legislative meeting, they will discuss the ordinance around keeping hens, raising hens in the backyards of homes and looking at the codes and ordinances around that. They will also be looking at the charter section 9, which has a specific language around individuals who are employed by public agencies who are unable to run for city council. So there will be a discussion on whether or not that part of the charter should be revised. Those meetings can be attended via Zoom. The access code is 893-154-7-4985. That code can also be found on the city council's webpage. Also, the city, along with an area church, will be providing COVID vaccinations on March 20th at the Civic Center. Please contact the city for more details. Also, Councilwoman Shayla L. Davis has access to vaccine codes, which are the codes in order to register for vaccinations for COVID-19. You'll be able to receive your vaccination at the Cleveland State Convocation Center. Please contact Councilwoman Davis at sdavis@garfieldheights.org. And with that concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. King. Are there any more reports this evening? With there not being any more reports, our next item on our agenda is the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Madam President. I speak today to the Garfield Heights City Schools community, enthusiastically sharing that students and staff in our district were once again reunited through our in-person hybrid learning model during the week of March 8th. As I and my administrative team visited each of the buildings throughout the week, we were overcome with the emotion, excitement, and enthusiasm which was on full display by our students, who returned to classrooms with visible happiness and anticipation, and our staff members, who welcomed our district's children with smiles and a desire to resume as much normalcy as possible. In addition to staff members, the principals and the administrative team at the Garfield Heights City Schools deserve a great deal of credit. Treasurer and Business Services Director Al Saluka coordinated the key building and facilities upgrades to ensure safety and COVID compliance for everyone returning. Our Director of Teaching and Learning, Leanne Riesland, played a significant role in structuring the hybrid in-person learning model. Director of Technology, Sherry Bailey, has maintained and upheld the technology requirements necessary to instruct during this unprecedented time. Director of Special Education, Brooke Phillips, has ensured that the increased special needs of our students have been addressed and met. Assistant Superintendent Sean Patton and Director of Pupil Services, Dr. Gordon Dupree, continue to go above and beyond providing resources to families in need, particularly through a town hall meeting that is taking place this Thursday about agency support and PBIS. That town hall begins at 6 p.m. and you won't want to miss it. I particularly would like to thank members of our Board of Education, President Daniels, Vice President King, and Member Thomas, who made time in their schedule to greet our students during this first week of in-person learning. Their emotion, care, and compassion was on full display as they greeted students and staff. Thank you for such a heartfelt demonstration of support for the district. Finally, I thank the devoted staff members of the Garfield Heights City Schools and wish them all the best in a safe and successful conclusion to the remainder of the school year. Their participation in the vaccination process was a critical first step in ensuring the safety of not only themselves, but our students and community. Special thanks also goes out to the Educational Service Center of Cuyahoga County for their facilitation of over 22,000 vaccines in 2 weeks for most educators in the county. With that, Madam President, I conclude my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hanke. Is there any questions as it relates to the superintendent's report this evening? With there being no questions, we will move to the remarks of the public.
Again, Mrs. Daniels, can you give them my email address if they have any questions? They can email me.
Absolutely. If anyone has any remarks, public remarks this evening, you can email it to spatton, PATTON, @ghbulldogs.org. All meetings of the board and board appointed committees, yes, are open to the public. In order for the board to fulfill its obligation to complete the planned agenda in an effective and efficient fashion, a maximum of 30 minutes of public participation may be permitted at each meeting. Each person addressing the board shall give his or her name and address. If several people wish to speak, each person is allowed 3 minutes until the total time of 30 minutes is used. During that period, no person may speak twice until all who desire to speak have had the opportunity to do so. Persons desiring more time should follow the procedure of the board to be placed on the regular agenda. The period of public participation may be extended by a vote of the majority of the board present and voting. Agendas are available to all those who attend board meetings. The section of the agenda for public participation shall be indicated. Noted at the bottom of each agenda shall be a short paragraph outlining the board's policy on public participation at board meetings. Is there any indication this evening of public participation?
Not at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Patton. Can I get a motion? We're going to the reports and recommendations of the treasurer. And can I have a motion to waive the reading of items 9 through 16 on tonight's agenda?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Mr. Patton, that motion to waive the reading of items 9 through 16 on tonight's agenda was moved by Ms. Thomas and second by Ms. Morrison. Can I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Thomas,
Yes.
Ms. Morrison,
Yes.
Ms. King,
Yes.
Mrs. Daniels.
Yes. Was there any discussion on any of those matters? With there being no discussion, were there any other remarks from the public regarding miscellaneous school items this evening?
No.
With there being no remarks, I would like to announce, let me see what our next board meeting is.
Point of order, Madam.
Yes,
Did we move away through 16 or was it through 15?
16.
Okay, thank you.
It was items 9 through 16. Is that correct? Is that what you had down, Mr.
Correct.
Patton? Thank you. Okay, let me see that. This is the one, so I'll do it back. Okay, the Garfield Heights City School District next regular board meeting is scheduled for April 19th. We have a work session scheduled for April 12th at 6 p.m. Those meetings can be will be streamed live on our YouTube channel, and the public is welcome to participate virtually.
President Daniels, if you don't mind, we're excited to announce that we'll, with the assent of the board, we've got some discussion at work session. We'd like to try to have roses for teachers in a larger venue, so we've got some of the children present, which would be nice, but we can discuss that at the work session. But we usually do that in April. It's the top 10 we get to recognize the teachers, so we're excited to have that one way to go.
That's great. That's great. I'm looking forward to the opportunity for you guys to logistically make that happen for our teachers this year in person. Thank you. Is there anything else this evening? Any other comments? With there being no more comments, I would like to adjourn the meeting as of 6:22 p.m. Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:22 p.m.? So moved. And a second, please.
Second.
Mr. Patton, that was moved by Ms. King, second by Ms. Morrison. We have a roll call.
Ms. King,
Yes.
Ms. Morrison,
Yes.
Ms. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Daniels.